Oh, I'm so proud of you. Great job. Tickle, 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 tickle. Hey, welcome back. So today is about how life changes after having a second baby. Number one is major jealousy issues between the first about the second. And I mean, if there's a big age gap, then of course I think the first may not be jealous. I mean, if they're in school full time, if they've got their group of friends, that type of thing, then I think jealousy may not be an issue. But I mean, if they're like 2, 3, 4, I think jealousy is a huge issue for some kids. My first did not accept it at all. In fact, he'd say things like, my mom and dad don't love me. I want to burn my brother. I want to put him in the oven. I want to cut his skin. In fact, I carried my second 24/7 and followed my first around so we all played together to like kind of say, hey, look, there's a baby. Let's have fun. He's playing too. And I mean, he's too smart for that. He just lays there doing nothing. It took 7 months for my first to like my second. And the age gap was about exactly 3 years. So that's a huge change in the dynamics because you're working your butt off to try and get the first to click with the second. You're trying everything. I mean, and if you've got a really bright 3-year-old, nothing is going to work. There's no tricking them. There's no this. There's no getting them involved. I know the internet and stuff say, get them involved to change the diaper, pass you things. No way that worked. I did the brother books. I did the whole thing since I was 14 weeks pregnant. I introduced my eldest to the new baby. We had books. We told what the jobs might be for him, all these fun things. So I did the introduction stuff, but my 3-year-old is probably at the level of a 6-year-old in terms of cognition and comprehension, things like that. None of that worked. So that's a huge change after having a second baby. Number 2, we talked about that mom guilt in some other videos. Everyone knows about that mom guilt. Well, with the second one, that amplifies tenfold beyond anything. You feel like you're doing a half job with everything. Your first year with the first, the second, someone's left out. You feel guilty just forever. You just feel guilty. And I mean, I would even, I actually spent my entire time holding my second and playing with my first. So that way no one was left out. But still, I'd be like, oh yeah, I love your traits. Oh, coochie. Oh, I love the drive. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Great job. Tickle. I look like a very ill woman. I looked ill. I looked nuts. And that's what I was doing to avoid this guilt. And I didn't avoid it. I still feel guilty. After 9 months, I still feel guilty. Feel like I'm not good enough, that I'm just I'm spread too thin. I'm trying my best. But I mean, I know I'm doing a really good, great job. But that guilt just creeps on up. It creeps on up like it's dirty. That guilt is dirty. Get it off of me, but it's hard to get the dirt off. Number 3 is good luck leaving the house ever. And I mean, I know some people, they just love staying home. They have all these, they got a playroom and stuff. No, I have to leave home. I have to leave home as much as I can with the kids. I don't like being home. Even though I love my home, I love being out there. I love going here, walking there. It's my favorite thing to do. I can't be trapped inside of this confinement. Can't do it. By the time you get them both ready, changed, and ready to go, it's the new one's time for a nap. So what I do is, even though it's like impossible to get out, I will quickly get them dressed, even if it means 15 minutes of going outside, which is hard because as soon as you introduce something fun to the first one, like an outside, it's hard to take it back. It's hard to say time to go inside. So you have to weigh these out. Is it worth fighting with your first to come back home after 15 minutes of being released from the house? So you have to really plan these things. I mean, good luck making it to any of your first kids' class. I mean, get them ready. I'd be there. They're like, oh, class is done. I'm like, just keep it on for 10 more minutes. I got here kind of on time. Guys, everyone, let's extend the class by 10 minutes. Michelle. Another change is the first baby, your first eldest, requires even more attention, requires more energy than the second baby. You would think like a newborn who's crying, you got night feeds, all this stuff would be draining and fatiguing and exhausting, but it's actually the first. I mean, of course, if they're not accepting the second, then they have, it takes more energy to try and, get them to like the second. They're having tantrums, they're angry, they're feeling betrayed, they feel deceived. All these adult thoughts they're having they have as like a child form of thoughts. And it requires a lot of energy and a lot of tact. And emotionally, it's very draining. So that's another change, is that your first does a 180 and requires so much attention and so much support beyond belief. And again, you feel guilty because it's taken away from the second. But again, I tried to just basically carry and talk to baby as I was playing with my eldest. 5 is my favorite one. It's the one that takes over all of them. It overrides all of them. It's amazing. Number 5 is seeing them interact with each other is just the most beautiful thing my eyes could ever see. It's the best sight. It's the most amazing feeling. I love it so much. And I mean, they don't interact until didn't interact until the second set up and could kind of pick up blocks and throw them. So around 6 to 7 months, my new baby started sitting up and stuff. And I think my son finally thought, hey, he's not a blob of goo that just sits there ruining his fun. He's kind of playing with blocks and Legos too. So, I mean, seeing that interaction, seeing them laugh and giggle, seeing my oldest make my second one smile and laugh and play those kinds of games like peekaboo or passing him things, or he'll say, oh, you don't need to cry, your big brother's here. I mean, he says the most sweetest things. So it's gone from burn, baby, burn, I don't like you, kind of like Children's from the Corn, or what's that movie, Children's of the Corn, that scary movie, to like, oh, I'm your big brother, I can take care of you, let me tuck you in and make you cozy. So it's so heart-wrenching seeing that love. I am overjoyed of having a second baby. I love it. I love seeing them interact. I'm envisioning them on roller coasters together, playing together, teaming up against me and my husband together, trying to just complaining about us as parents together. I'm excited for them to complain about me and my husband. I want them to say, Mom and Dad, they are so annoying. I'm so excited for them to be a team and to do things together, go traveling together, be just best friends. I'm so excited. So no matter how hard it is with the transition of another baby, it's really worth it once you've put the time and effort into adapting to the new dynamics, and everyone's adapted. It's a big change for everybody. Really the best thing you could ever have done for your family and for yourself. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe, like this video if you like it, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and have a beautiful night.